So I've been looking into how we can set up SSL. I really want to set up SSL. Really, really. So I was chatting with ChatGPT here, trying to get some ideas. And apparently, we can get a certificate through ACM. Is it this? Certificate manager. I think this would be more what it. Yes, I already have a certificate for this website, but this was automatically set up by the thingamajig. Do I need... Oh yeah, I don't think we can use IPs. I think I'll need to route, or whatever it's called. You do some DNS magic so that my domain is pointing to the EC2, EC2 machine. Ah, this is so this is complicated. I hate doing this shit. Let's see how this works. So we want a public one. We need to have a public one. Fully qualified name. Oh, the main name. So I guess here we can do 3D pixels that written that dev, if I'm not mistaken. That's yeah, that dev. Can a domain name start? Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say potentially I want to have an HTTP like a normal website. I have like an index, that HTML or something, and this doesn't stop us necessarily from doing that because there's different protocols. There's HTTP slash this, and then we can have the WebSockets slash this. So we can have two in one. Yeah, I am authorized to modify. Should probably just leave that as is. So do I have to do this? Anyways, let's go ahead and request. Create records in S3. Domain name. I already have, what's it called? The route 53. I already have my domain added here. So see, I have a hosted zone, written that dev, and let's see, did it add? I don't see, oh, here it is. Issued, so I guess that's, how do I use this now? Let's see what ChatGPT says. So, request attach this. Once your certificate is issued, you can attach it to various AWS services like Elastic Load Balancer, CloudFront distributions, and API Gateway. If you're using an ELB, what is an ELB? Elastic Load Balancing. What should I use for my ES2 server then? I created the certificate, but I'm at a bit of a loss now. So since we already created the certificate, next step is to set up a load balancer. So I guess I need to create a load balancer. Will the load balancer work as sort of a proxy, or how does a load balancer work? Choose application load balancer. Choose an application load balancer when you need a flexible feature set for your applications with HTTP and HTTPS traffic. What about WebSockets? Network load balancer when you need ultra high performance TLS offloading at scale, decentralized certificate deployment, support for UDP, and static IP addresses for your application operating at a connection level. I mean, does support WebSockets? Yes. Let's go with this one, I guess, and see what happens. The name 3D pixels server balance. Select at least 2 availability zones and 1 subnet per zone. I'm so listen and routing. A listener is, yeah, see, that's the thing. So it's telling me to do an HTTPS for this. Do I need to create a group? Oh, certificate, look at that. Like, if I create now, yeah. I don't know. Create target group. So I'm asking it about the create target group. In AWS, when you're setting an application load balancer, target group is a critical component. It's essentially a collection of targets like EC2 instances that receive traffic from the load balancer based on rules defined for the listening. Here's a brief guide on creating a target group. What does this mean? Include this. So this means that I have a load balancer with one target, right? So it's just going to be pointing to it. Now, well, I don't have a load balancer yet. I have a target group. Okay. If it's not painfully obvious, this is the first time I'm seeing these pages. I'm just trying to chug along. I want to get this out of the way just so I can get into the fun stuff. Yeah, what I don't understand about this load balancer is what does it even mean? Because sure, I understand the idea of a load balancer, but I had to choose availability zones, and yet I created a group where the EC2 instance in a zone that I already created. Like, why would I? Is it creating two like EC2 instances behind the scenes that handle the zone loading? So like if one of them's down, it has another one for redundancy. Will I be paying for these two machines working for me? Clearly I am going to be paying, I just wonder how much. It's so easy to increase cost. Yeah, they're all gonna go to this guy because that's the only thing. Certificate. Now, what I'm also curious is if I select the certificate manager. Oh, look at that. Since I connected it, it's now eligible for auto renewal too. Cool. Now, this have some sort of brain fart for a second. Does this have some sort of brain fart? What am I trying to get at? Does this have a website? Oh, it's still working on it, I guess. No, no, it's already active. I mean, we can try. It's dev, not dev, so it has to be HTTPS. Let's try an open Unity and let's try to connect to the domain and see if it works. If it works, then fine. We can try and do enable SSL. I think so. What I'm what I'm guessing is that I don't have to enable SSL on the server because we're gonna be going through the load balancer, which it is going to work as a proxy. Actually, I could ask ChatGPT that. Well, do I still need to enable SSL or does the load balancer work as a secure proxy? When you're using an application load balancer, the load balancer can act as a secure proxy. Here's how it works. SSL, well, I mean, it can. I mean, does it not act? It can, but it's not. Benefits. So if your application has specific compliance and security requirements that necessitate end-to-end encryption, on the instances too. Ensure that your security are appropriately configured. But how am I going to put SSL on my instances? That's what I've been trying to do. Like, if you install your certificates, you need to enable on your for purpose of encryption traffic between the client and the load balancer. I don't really care about encrypting from load balancer to my EC2 instance. I mean, why would I have to? It sounds like extra work for no extra gains. What am I trying to do here? Let's try and connect to the remote server. See what happens. I should be able to connect with the IP directly, but that won't work on a browser. You have to use a namespace, if that's what it's called. Jeez Louise. Let's expose here. Serialize fields. No. String. host. Let's put a Boolean SSL and a port. So we're gonna do SSL host port. This will allow us to tinker without having to compile the code each freaking time. Let's try with the raw IP first. Where's my EC2 instance? I have one running. Copy this. And if I just do this, and I start, will it connect? Or will it ain't connect? Looks like it's not able to connect. I wonder if the server is still up. I mean, it's been a bit since I last checked it, but it should still... I don't like this. It should still be up. Yeah, it's right here. I wonder if I need to open a certain amount of ports or how... Like in terms of security. Does it... Okay, security. So I guess I can try and use this port. Well, but the server's already using something else. Can I... Something else in here? Add... Oh... 88. Say this. Say. Okay. So this is this instant? It's in here. I don't know. Try play again. Oh yeah, and the server's even responding with the message back. Awesome. Okay. Now, we know that the server is up and running. Ooh, what happened? No, what I want is that. Just that. Thank you. I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, this should be going through the load balancer. Cannot resolve host, yeah. Could it be something else? What if I know that this is a valid point host, so maybe it's gonna give me something else. So it's trying longer. Something there. So this isn't working at all. Do I any record? Like, is this what I'm looking at? Is this the endpoint that I should be thinking? But then the SSL certificate won't work for this because it only works. Plus, I don't even think it would connect. Because as you can see, I'd have to add another listener. Port 8080. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about this one. Oh, this isn't healthy. Why is this? Is it trying to ping? Might be saying it's unhealthy because it's trying to ping the thing. We're gonna figure this one out. I have to assume it's this. Like, I have to assume it's this. The only thing that got added. But then the certificate would fail, wouldn't it? So everything needs to be working just fine before I can even freaking test. Cannot resolve host, yeah. DNS name record. Like, do I need to point? Maybe I have to change my routing. So here in my zones, this is what I called it. Request timeout. Health checks failed. Just going back and forth here. This is confusing. A bit of a loss here. Very confusing. So my target group has an unhealthy status with what does it need to be? When can I go to the pharmacy and get him something? Verify the health. Make sure the protocol port and path to a URL where your application correspond with a 200 OK status. If your application is bad, ensure the health checks is configured for HTTPS. Now the thing is, you won't really. Oh, I see. So that is failing because it should fail technically. Let's do some things here. So website. I guess we can just call it this, which is very common. And we can put here a index.html. Okay. Hello world. Okay, so we have this. Now, the issue is that this is going to be running from inside all of these. So let's put the old thing that they had in there where it's this that add static content. And then here, essentially we have to say, for our current scenario, we have to go, so we are in this folder now, back, we are in debug, bug, we are in bin, bug, we are at the root, bug, we are here, and then www. Yeah. So technically, if I start the server now, does not exist. Oh, because this is probably, how can I reliably get this path, I wonder? Because from its perspective, I think it's probably this path. No, not even. What is the current path? I would have imagined is in here. So we go back and then, you know, one fancy way of doing it might just be static string get directory directory info. Get current directory. If this that. So my idea here is, if this that name equals to web 3D pixels, then just return full name. I guess we can do path dot combine this with this, okay? Otherwise, string current directory. Can I have this be? I can't write this, and it has to be a thing. Yes, we could do that. Okay. And then if not, we want to do recursive if parent dot exists. Well, parent equals to this. If parent is null, return null. Not empty. Otherwise, will this work? Look at that. Hello world. So this serves, is there a way that I can say, you know, if it's just a slash, how could I potentially like map? This is decompiled, yeah. What does the prefix do exactly? Insert. I think what the prefix does is just, you put something, it's gonna add it to this. Then we have a filter, and then we have a timeout. Anyways, for now, I think this is gonna be good enough. Let's maybe change. Let's get out of the way. Let's change this. Right, where is it? Balancer. Which one was broken? I think it was the group. Where's the group? Group? Oh, there it is. So the health checks here failed because it cannot access the thing. Health checks. Edit. Do it over HTTP. And just so we have this here, let's do health. Info, I guess. And we'll do, okay. So technically, if I restart here the server, I copy this here and I do health.info, I get an OK message. Do it over HTTP. Yeah, we need to also settle down on a port to use. The traffic port is set to 443 if I'm not mistaken, because that's the SSL thing. Yeah, we can override the port, but maybe we should do this. I might run into... Oh, no, I didn't. Thought I might have ran into other issues, but that's fine then. I mean, okay. And another thing I want to change before pushing this up is in the workflow, I want to add, because now this is part of the server. So if we change the website, we want to rebuild the server. Well, do we want to rebuild it? We don't necessarily need to rebuild it. I guess I need to pull the changes, so might as well. But if this is the only thing changed, this didn't change, it doesn't have to do this. But should be fine. Technically, we could stop it here if it's only this. But that would just complicate stuff. We're not looking to complicate anything. This is tiresome though, damn. Alright. Let's go ahead and add this commit server static files and port changes. Okay, I closed the thing up again. Okay, it is done. So if I go here, health.info, connection refused. Why would it give me a connection refused? If I put this here, 443, am I able to connect? I should be able to connect. I only changed the port, refused it. What if I decide to use SSL? But I'm not using SSL, it's not gonna work. Why did I even do it? I did change the port, right? Yes, I did. Did I forget? So the health checks should still be unhealthy. Why would it be failing? I forgot to save this. Check the instance here on the security. 443. It's open. HTTPS should definitely not respond if HTTP doesn't. But HTTP should respond. Index.html should. Maybe maybe the server is dead. There's a chance that something happened with the server. So let's see if it is alive. Ooh, it isn't. Interesting. Let's go. Okay, so that explains why it wasn't responding, and I assume it might be something to do with the way I'm getting 22. Am I not starting it with no hub or whatever it's called? No hub, yeah. So why can't I see? Shouldn't it be outputting it to a text file? I guess we can actually manually run it. Okay, permission denied. Oh, look at that. Back up. We just need to give it more. So this should, at some point, become healthy. Health checks. Oh, I need to return a success code. There's a chance it's doing it automatically. Wait, why isn't it health.info is what I set it to be. Okay, so that's updated. Is there anything else I need to change here? No, nothing else. So it should become healthy. Any moment now, you can become healthy, just please. While we're thinking about that, this should definitely be sudo. Now, I'm wondering, it's gonna have my privileges, so this should work just fine. Status, add, increase server permissions. Okay. Speaking of, it should connect now. Okay. Still not secure, but at least it's connecting. Did this update? Why? Oh, healthy. There you go. So it managed to ping it. What now? What now? All right. Let me. Does the load balancer have a URL? If so, how can I make it be the one I set up in the certificate? Has a DNS name. Okay, so the URL is this DNS name thing. It's a record. So I need to update my DNS records. So does this mean that with this long ass thing I can connect? Because it should. Well, it's a little weird. It's trying to connect. Well, SSL. Oh, actually, it might not be working because I set up the certificate. Okay, let's update the route. Find the load balancer DNS name, update DNS. So go to your domain provider. create a CNAME record. So create a record, CNAME. Point this record to the DNS name. I need yeah, 3D pixels that written.dev. Wait, it's saying point this record to the DNS. Update DNS record. Create a new CNAME record. Point this record for CNAME. The value will be the load for a. Well, it's like oh, so yeah, I cannot select. It has to be CNAME. I guess now we need to wait until it is ready. It seems like it's in sync now. So does that mean that I can ping it like this? Or is that a bit too much to ask? I'm not sure. I mean, if so, I was hoping for this to be working. So it could be multiple things now. Except that I don't know which one it is. So it could be that this is because sometimes DNS can take a little longer to work. So it could be that I just didn't wait long enough. But I also think that the load balancer might be doing HTTPS or SSL requests to my server, and if that is the case, that wouldn't work. But I think it would forward back like a failed connection of some sorts. But this is completely radio silent. Because if I do an HTTPS request, as you can see, it's loading and loading and loading and loading. So that might explain what do be happening. Now, can I add a listener that's not HTTP? I don't know if this is gonna work. Maybe it's the group that needs to not be HTTPS. It could very well be this. Now, let's try and create another group. I'm gonna try and make something else. It could be this. Could have just set it up wrong. Okay? Non-associated. So let's go ahead and edit the load balancer. How can I edit listener? It's like this simple group. Okay. The load balancer should still have the same CNA, right? Okay, doesn't work with that. Well, if I do like this. Nothing works. We can remove this. This one is not doing anything. Delete this shit. Confirm, yeah. Go away. Can we add another listener on the HTTP one, though? I wonder. Oh, duplicate ports. My only issue. I mean, I could test. Let's. Oops, I didn't want to close the server. Let's see what's up on this one. This should still be healthy. Yes, it still is. I wanna. I'm gonna delete this listener. Okay. We're gonna create a new one, and we're gonna do HTTP 443. We're gonna select the simple one. Forward to targets. Redirect to no. Forward to targets. Okay. Now we have this shit ass. Let's just like this is how I'm envisioning it to work. Yet it ain't working. Why isn't it working? Is it trying? Okay, let's bring this down to back to 8080. Okay. Like status add. Oh, also, could I be running into an issue of? So in a few. There it is. It should be back on this. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Let's. So I was wondering, maybe because the 443 is used for secure connections, maybe something was blocking it, but it looks like it's not. So this works. This doesn't. ID is one. Check if your application load balancer is configured to listen on port 8080. Oh, good point. That's a good point. It's not. Now it is. Yes, this one's healthy. That's normal. It's still not doing it. Is there? Do I not allow? Okay, I was gonna say the outbound's probably wrong, but no, it's all ports, all protocols. It's an open outbound thing. This is so frustrating. I don't know what I'm looking at. What is this? No, this is the HTTP AC80. Come on, man, why? I'm not using path-based routing. What on earth? How am I supposed to do this? The load balancer, it's closed everything else, so I don't. This is set on this. Look at that. Can even remove this other piece of garbage. Look at that. Delete listener. Confirmed. It's listening on HTTP 8080 and it's forwarding, right? Security. Do I need to do something in security here? Default. And it's like both of them. Now this screams secure. Just I selected something else. I don't know why. I probably created this testing or something. Launch wizard. It's more like green lights wizard. It's working. I'm gonna leave. This was so much pain. Now 6969. I'm curious. I'm so curious as to what happens. Do these ports need to match up? It looks like they do. It's not listening on that port. So, can the load balancer differ in port from the target? Yes, the port used can differ from the port used by this flexibility allows to route incoming traffic on a standard port to a different port. Here's how it works. Listener configuration. On the load balancer, set up listeners on your on commonly used ports. Okay. Yes. On the target group is configured with a specific port that your application is listening to. For example, 8080. Yeah. You would configure your target group to forward traffic to 8080. So if I go to the target group, which I already had opened or whatever, I have this here, 8080. Let's deregister that. When a request comes from the thing, we'll on a specific route, this requested instance on the specified port. So I guess it's expecting a. Can only create a new one. 443. I don't understand why the 8080 works. 6969. When a request comes to your ALB on the listener port, the ALB routes this request to the instances in the target. Bada bing bada. Let's maybe delete this. It's being used. Let's maybe create a new one. Say I want it to be routed to 88. Is this what this means? Listener, I want you to listen. For now, let's do 80. I want you to forward to this guy. To you, I can delete. I think I can delete this one too because it's not associated to anything either way. So if I remove, getting somewhere. I think we can delete this one too now. And we can set up the one and only 443, the famous 443. To this one, the certificate, and I think that's everything that we need. I can go ahead and delete this one. Delete the listener. Confirm. Delete. And that should be it. One of these should be unused, and we can just delete it because it's. Now let's just stop responding. Hear me out. If we say pixel 3D pixels dot written dot dev slash help slash info. Okay, stop. Whatever. Guess I got too happy for no reason. Now, I could try with this. It is a little concerning, though. Bad request, yeah. The plain HTTP request was sent to HTTPS. Why? Attackers proceed. Yeah, the certification doesn't match, which is why. But then I proceed and it doesn't do anything, so it makes me think that I broke something again. What? Oh, what? What the fuck? let's oh, it worked. But why? And it's using SSL. What on earth is happening? Like, seriously. Mi no comprende qué pasa. I got an idea. I got a very nice idea of how we can figure out what is happening. Sage. Okay. I need this, so kill all of them. So I do need to have this be sudo. Then just run the server. Oops. I was expecting some sort of we could try and add the SSL directly. So we have SSL to SSL, which could avoid some of these issues that I'm running into. It might be just that the response doesn't match. It's sending an encrypted response, is receiving a non-encrypted response, and maybe that doesn't work. And it's trying to download the file, I guess, because it's a. What if I do 3D pixels that written dev slash index html? Ah, that works. I mean, this is trying to download the favicon and it's failing. Okay, I don't need. It's not broken. It's not broken. Oh my god. Of course, if I close this at gateway, okay. If I started there and I go into www vim into index.html and I add something, hello world, something here. Look at that, fancy. And I'm curious, if now I rerun, keep closing the repo that we're working with. So now the server should be private because we're not interacting directly with the server, right? I don't know. I mean, do you know? Does it now? Like if I ping. Oh, see? Interesting. Did it run? Did it execute? Rebuild server? It did. It's up, and it removed the thing. Awesome. Everything seems to be working just fine. Oh wait, does that actually point? No, it doesn't point to anything. It's weird. Why wouldn't the default not pointing to anything to just the index.html? But I don't know. Whatever. So I guess that's it. It works. If I connect now, it doesn't complain about the certificate. Connected. I'm wondering if I can close off the instance from the world. Let's ask ChatGPT. Can I close off the EC2 instance so it can only be accessed by the load balancer? This way I don't have to worry about unencrypted connections directly to it. Yes, you can configure to only accept traffic from the by ensuring that all access is routed, which can handle encryption. Here's how to do it. Okay, I'm getting excited again. I was very frustrated with this whole fucking process, but I'm getting excited again. So, update the security group. Go to the dashboard, find the security group. I guess it's this. Security groups. We're using this one. Security. Change security groups. Okay, so I think I'm going to create a new security group. Find the security group, edit the inbound rules to only allow traffic from the thing. Security groups. I'm going to create a new one. This is going to called 3D Pixels Server Internal. I do want to allow outbound. I do want to allow ACES SSH. Can I choose, for example, if your listen up, all these ports are inbound from the ALB security group. ALB. ALB? No, the inbound. The outbound. Okay. All traffic. The inbound. Can I do ALB now? I do want to keep SSH, and I guess HTTPS. Do I need to listen to port 80? I don't think I do. Oh crap, what is this? Hello? Don't allow direct access from the outside. Subnet. I guess it's more of a subnet issue than subnet. Might break something by changing this, because then it doesn't have the 8080 port open anymore. So that clearly does not work. I can select something from here. Oh, I can select the security group. So this should stop working, but so if I say index.html, but if I do 3D pixels, let's go! Great, we just made it secure. You can no longer, like, so look at this. This should still work. We should still be able to connect to the machine with SSL through my domain. And everything's nice and dandy. If I try to connect to it directly to the port 8080, this is where we shouldn't be able to do, because if I can connect now, I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, look at that. It's not working because it's only allowing the load balancer to connect to it. We are not allowed to interact with this port. It's amazing. So this makes it that technically you can still, well, actually I don't have to. I don't have to open these inbound. I do need to leave the SSH, but this one, and this should work just fine. 3D pixels index, yeah. So and this should also work just fine. Cool. All right, we got SSL working. Fantastic.